storytellers with sound.
I can't sit in silence. There has to be music, and it pushes me to do things that I probably would never have considered doing before.
Hello everybody, welcome to The Man Behind the Music. I hope that you enjoy. This is part 2 of With Andrew Paul Woodworth. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Andrew Paul Woodworth. I'm happy to be here.
That's wonderful. We're happy to have you here.
KGUR. KGUR.
KGUR.
KGUR. Awesome.
Okay, well, let's get this show on the road. All right, so...
You have a candle going on in there? It looks like there's some flickering light.
Oh, yes. Actually, it's these are really cool. They react to sound.
Really?
Yeah, they do. They do. It's pretty rad.
So there's no candle burning in that room? I thought maybe you were really going for the ambiance.
Well, sometimes I like to burn some candles, but
Yeah.
most of the time I just, I like to, it's just fire and audio equipment. They don't really mix all the time,
It's tough on it. Fire's tough on a wire, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
Are you someone who remembers to put their candles out at night, or do you not trust yourself?
I would say, you know what? I forget if I'm really, really sleepy.
If you're sleepy?
If I'm too tired, then I don't blow out my candles.
And that can be very dangerous, Nessie.
Oh, so dangerous. So dangerous.
Don't do it.
What
Okay.
was I even thinking of doing just now? I cannot believe
Don't
that.
even do it. Don't do it.
No, I have that in the back of my head. There's always something that's telling me to, because I got OCD, so I gotta complete a task if I have a task.
You have OCD?
I do have OCD.
Were you diagnosed with that officially, or did you?
Yeah.
Really?
I had it for a while.
Now, why did you have to, is it something that debilitates you? Is that why you had to go in and sort of get it sussed out?
Well, I've had it since I was a little kid, so, what the issue with me is that, I never really understood what my diagnoses are,
Oh, you have more than one?
Yeah, I do.
You.
Am I allowed to really talk about that on air, or do you
Well,
think?
why not? It's a free country.
Why not? It is a free country. Well,
We live in a democracy, at least for the time being. No?
Well, hey, am I interviewing you, or are you interviewing me?
We're going to have a conversation. I think we should talk about your diagnoses. And let me ask you this. In some ways, do you find that your OCD is actually a positive thing?
You know what? It helps me study. Now, that actually may be controversial of me to say, but I think that if you use your flaws and your struggles for better to help yourself, instead of seeing it as a negative, like a downside, see your fuel for depression, anxiety as a catapult for art, and see it as you feeling something inside and your soul is telling you something, and also use this, I have to get this done, I this obsessive, because I actually have this, people notice me tapping my fingers.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so I actually have to control my OCD that way. So I'm constantly tapping on things, and my phone's, it's the flashlight is always coming on because I tap on my phone so much. And so, but I used that to help me study, so that way I could read the question over and over and over again, just by starting at the beginning.
Oh, this is an OCD. Is there ever been, because I know a lot of people with the autism tend to have these little tics and things like that. Has there ever been an Asperger's diagnosis for you or anything like that?
Well, I don't have autism, but I do know I do have friends that have it. I have PTSD pretty badly.
Sorry to hear that.
It's okay. That's I don't know where the limit is of oversharing.
There's no limit.
There isn't.
Did you listen to any of the podcasts I advised you on? Dax Shepard.
I didn't get
Howard
a chance.
Stern,
Such a busy weekend.
Can't do it. You don't have time for that. You got OCD. You got to finish all the projects you have in your head.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah,
I can't.
I start a project and I never finish it.
I tell you this, if you listen to Dax Shepard, okay, armchair expert, he is a great interviewer because he shares of himself.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fantastic. I think these conversations that he has with these very interesting, oftentimes very interesting people, you learn about him too. And I think people want to learn about you. Who is this voice they're listening to every day on the radio? Who is this
Well, you know, my
enigmatic, soft-spoken, sweetie pie on the other end of the
I'm a
line,
sweetie
right?
pie.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Who is this program director who's given us, where does she come from?
I was born in Northridge, Los Angeles.
Northridge. My aunt lives in Northridge,
She does.
right by CSUN. Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so like she born raised there. Like I was, cause I've lived there for first 5 years of my life, and
Wow. And then well, she's still there, but she's probably been there. She's 90 something. So it's my,
I can't imagine somebody's aunt being in their 90s. I don't know why that is to me.
I know it's crazy, but you know what? Throughout history, people have had aunts in their 90s.
That's absolutely insane. They have not.
I'm
There's
not
no
the
way.
first. I promise I'm not the first, and I won't be the last. Okay, her name is Muriel, and she's very, very sweet lady. You
So,
probably remember Muriel at the grocery store.
maybe I don't know if I ran into Muro.
Yeah,
Well, would you say that your family members are a muse for your music as well? Hmm?
absolutely. Yeah, I haven't written about Muriel yet, have I? But
No.
I have. Yeah, I've definitely written about some family members. I have a very musical family,
Hmm.
so I have cousins who are excellent players, far better than I am up here in Portland. Um, my cousin Michael is a very, very well-known musician in Portland, probably one of the most popular musicians in the city.
Well, that's
His name is
cool.
Michael Allen Harrison, and he's very, very talented and prolific pianist.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
cool.
I have a cousin, his brother is an excellent guitar player. Their sister's a flutist. My aunt, I think I mentioned in New York, she's in her 80s, but she was a protest singer in the 60s. Yeah.
Wow.
So we've got it in our family.
Well,
Got
that's
the black
insane.
blood. We call it black blood because black blood was the poet Wordsworth's way of saying you're a bit crazy.
Oh, no, I don't think you're crazy. Nobody's crazy
Got
here.
to be a little crazy to be a musician, I think.
You know what? I know quite a few. Maybe they're driven by the craft itself because, you know, I'd say that it's such an intricate language and keeping up with it and, obsessing about getting every single part right, you know. I
Hmm.
was actually going to be a composer when I was 18, so I dabble in music
Oh,
theory. But radio
yeah.
stole my heart. And I've always written stories about radio hosts, ironically. So,
Interesting.
yeah, I know. In my teen years, I wrote this story about two people that start a radio station and an old abandoned nuclear plant. And it's like supposed to be an action thing, and
Hmm.
it's disguised to try to send, like hidden messages to people that they're broadcasting to around the globe, so that way they can keep in contact with other people, and the other heroes in the story. So that way people don't catch on to what they're saying, but like they're secret messages in the music that they're playing, like updates of
Mhm.
what happened recently. So that
You
way,
wrote this is a story you wrote?
yeah, I still actually am gonna put it in the TV show that I'm going to release called The Uncommon Mortal. And
The Uncommon what?
The Uncommon Mortal. And it's a heaven and hell thing. And I've been writing it since I was a teenager, and it's about like prophets, and with the rise of radio frequencies and all that stuff, like people's brains start to awaken, like in X-Men, and then there's people, they're prophets, and then regular people, and they're separated. But the regular people are called mortals, and the others are called uncommon mortals, and they're kind of seen as low in the bar in society. and
Mm.
they can see things in the afterlife. And this is what I had in mind. And uncommon mortals have to go underneath the radar because they get so much hate. So two of them start a radio station to broadcast to other prophets to let them know about what's happening in the afterlife in case they're going into hiding. And it's that's kind of why I wanted to become a radio host so badly, is because I want to learn more about how radio works. And as I learned more about radio, I saw so many flaws in my logic for how that's supposed to even be executed in, like, there's so many plot holes now. I'm so happy that I study it. So it makes me hesitant to release this. But at the same time, I want to. It's supposed to be that also people are like walking radios and they can hear radio broadcasts and frequencies because of their abilities as they're just
What?
walking in their heads. And so I had this idea because I would think it's pretty cool. I saw this like piece of artwork where someone had a radio dial on their neck and it was like this really cool robot looking person, and that's where I got inspired by it. But
Mm.
I never got around. I only wrote the first episode. Never got around to really seeing the rest of it.
Well, I think you've put it out there in the ether. Now it's your responsibility to finish it.
I guess so. I mean, now
You just
people know
gotta
about what I'm trying to
get it
do.
done. I mean, you are a pretty interesting human. Because I obviously didn't know you before this, and then on Instagram, and I
Mm,
started looking at your stuff. You tend to put on a lot of costume makeup,
yeah.
right? And you film yourself lip syncing to things.
I don't know how people are receiving that. I don't know if people see it as weird.
Well, but weird is good, right? I don't, I think it's not, I think there's a difference between weird and strange,
Mm.
right? Strange is hard to relate to. Strange can be, make you feel unsafe, but we want weird. We like weird. So I think embracing the weird is a smart thing to do. I think people are saying, look at, she's in her own little world. Uh, you've got the song, 'cause you're obviously a lover of music, right?
Yes.
The Cure a big band of yours?
People have suggested The Cure.
Okay.
I've heard a couple of songs by The Cure.
Okay, but you're not okay. But
Mm.
there's sort of a dark
Yes.
undercurrent to the sound that goes along with the persona of the makeup and all that stuff. Are you trying to say something specific when you're doing that? What's your message when you're doing that?
Well, my message is specific to the video. My DJ persona is Captain Lokknessie, and I started originally doing uh, videos based off of the songs I'd play in my show, of how I see the song in my head when it plays. And
Mm.
people ended up liking that, so Captain Lokknessie took on a life of its own, and I'd get more.
Captain Lokknessie?
Yeah, Captain Lokknessie. It was an interesting story.
Yeah.
I got a captain's hat from a Halloween store because I was gonna be Tootie from the Gorillas, and for
Okay.
Halloween, and this was a few years ago. And I ended up falling out with it because I had someone else that was going to be another band member of the Gorillas, but they ended up caving. And so I bought this hat for no reason. It was sitting there, and I had a whole bunch of song requests. So I
Hmm.
decided to put on the hat and do a captain themed show, and I thought it was going to be a one time thing. And I downloaded some sound effects like ocean waves, etc.
Mhm. Mhm.
And people really liked it. I don't know. They just thought it was creative. And the Pirates is the local mascot. We're by the ocean, so like sailor captains and all that stuff. Seeing it here in my community is not uncommon. And so that's one of the reasons why I did the Captain Lokknessie thing. But then I started doing videos of me in the booth, and I had the hat on. And that's where the videos really started. I don't know. I just had fun.
Okay.
All this was me
People
having
like
fun.
people
Yeah.
want to see your weirdness because everybody feels weird. If you think somebody's normal, you just don't know them very well,
That's so true. Yeah. I
right?
mean, what's your weird?
What's my weird?
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, there's a ton of weird stuff. I mean, if you go up to our bonus room, my wife's hilarious, so we get to embrace the weird together. I think my guitar player the other day described me as extra.
Extra?
Yeah. And I go, well, what do you mean by that? He goes, well, I mean, You're the only person I know who has about 20 wigs upstairs in his.
20 wigs.
Oh yeah, 20 wigs. Wigs
Let's
upstairs.
go. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank God that somebody else has costume stuff as
I was a
me.
theater major, you know,
Yo,
and
right. You
so
were.
what we have people over. The other day, we had some people come over, some friends from out of town, and when they showed up, Catherine said, "You got to put that wig on and act like," because I don't have tons of hair, you know.
Right.
They said, "You got to act like like you don't even have a wig on and see if they will play into it." So I put this Justin Bieber wig on. I just answered the door, you know, huge. They knew, but see, I think that if there's a weirdness that I have, it's to be as absurdly funny as I can possibly be.
Ah, you seem like a really funny guy.
Funny and weird and wigs and costumes and silly and I can speed walk really fast.
You can.
That's one of my skills. Yeah,
Were you an athlete?
I was actually.
You were.
But I
What
was very, very short, very diminutive when I was in
didn't
high school,
you told us about that, didn't
junior
you?
high, high school. Yeah, so I was actually pretty athletic, but I couldn't keep up with those bigger kids when they got big.
Mm.
So I wasn't going pro
Well, you don't
in
have to be the best to love something.
anything except for I'm probiotic. That's it.
Probiotic, what is that? What is that?
I don't even know what it means.
And I
Because
know
sometimes I'm antibiotic.
you're supposed to be that. You're supposed to be
Are you ever
innocent.
antibiotic?
I don't have any allergies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not allergic to anything.
That's nice.
No, I'm not allergic to
But
anything. Yeah.
so you have these little videos. These are they fun for you to make? Because you're
Yes.
also pretty good at editing things and splicing things together. You're pretty good at the computer and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's this is a film and radio department, and so I am also a tutor here, so I teach everybody, taking every single class. And as a program director, I have to, so I know how to help everybody because, I'm not only the program director, but I'm also doing a six-person job because I'm supposed to have a team of six people, but, budget cuts, they slaughtered us.
I
So,
hope they're there you go.
well, we're getting the budget. That's on its
Now,
way.
have you ever thought about going to LA and dipping into the industry there? These skills you have?
I with this, I have been trained in these classes. We use Avid Media Composer, and we have the best equipment that you could possibly get. We
Mhm.
have everything, and we use it all for free as long as you're taking the classes. 'Cause you can't really use this stuff unless you're taking the classes.
But I'm saying get yourself to the industry.
No, I don't
Because you're
know.
a
This
little
place really
small
needs
town,
me. I
small
love.
town there on the coast. Not that I'm saying don't stay there, but
Oh,
I'm
true.
saying if the time comes where you got to move on, you may have built yourself a nice little resume and skill set to go to LA and get yourself into that movie industry.
Well,
Think
I
big, think big.
I know my dad has an agent in Hollywood, and I'm
Does
on
he have a name for it?
IMDb.
What
Uh,
does he have a name for it?
he's been on 24, the TV show, and NCIS. He likes to.
I used to watch 24.
Yeah, what is that
I
show about
loved
again?
24 with Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, that TV show where they had the.
Loved it. So your dad's an actor.
Yes, my dad's an actor.
Is he still doing it?
Yeah, well, he's getting to a point where he's, because he just wants to relax. And now that I have the exposure that I have in Hollywood, they're kind of putting the success on me to be the Hollywood breadwinner. So
Oh, you've got the pressure of the breadwinner now?
yeah, I do.
You have breadwinner pressure?
I do. I do have breadwinner press, and
Wow.
I'm not.
I don't think
I
that's
already
fair.
have made a little bit of a debut, considering like I've gotten a significant follow online, and if the opportunity does come for people to want me to be in something, then I absolutely will. I
Are you
do.
an actor then? Have you done plays and things like that and taken classes and
Yeah.
spent your time as an actor?
Yes, I have. I was in theater all throughout high school, and my dad actually is alumni for this college. He started in 2005, and then he continued in 2010, or I think it was 2012, and he took all of the acting classes here at Cuesta. So the acting
Wow.
professor here, I've known since I was 13, and everybody here, I go way back with them. I love Brie
Oh.
Valle. She's very nice, very, very skilled, and she makes actors. And she's real mean about it, but you have to be mean in order to be a theater teacher. If you're a good one, I would expect you to be mean.
No
And
way. No
because
way.
of,
You do not have to be mean.
well, I mean, you have
I'm not
to.
to disagree with that on there.
Yeah, well, she's not mean, but she has the standard and you have to meet it, you know? My dad
Yeah,
would
but
have.
I don't know, man. I'm
Hmm?
disturbed by that characterization of somebody who's teaching people.
That is,
Mean? Uh-uh.
well,
No way.
it's not,
I think being mean, if you're a teacher, is an ego trip. You got to get over.
well, she's
That's
got,
not inspiring. Mean is not inspiring to me.
yeah, I don't know how to put it, but there's some people, Brie just has really high standards, and if you don't meet them, then, she'll do little tests. I wouldn't say it's mean, but she rubs people the wrong way. I love Brie Valle. She's great. And so because of her and because of my dad, I did acting all throughout high school, and actually I ended up following in his footsteps and taking her class. But again, like I discovered music and then I discovered radio. So I was going to be a theater major, then I was going to be a music major, and then I came here, and the rest is history. I literally dropped everything for this place because it's just so magical. There's a history here.
That
There's
that
lore for KGUR. It's crazy.
I listen. I think the more you embrace your weird, the more successful you're going to be.
You're so right about that. You're so
Okay?
wisdomous. You're so full of wisdom.
Well, I'm just speaking from the heart. I think our uniqueness is our strength, and that's what I will tell my students. Uh, and I had to learn that the hard way because I was very much I was a hero worshiper, especially of Pearl Jam.
Mhm.
And had I been a little more, had I embraced my uniqueness a little bit more, I think I would have been more successful earlier on, quite frankly.
That's
So that
true.
is, that is the cautionary tale I would offer.
I think our DJs really need to hear that. A lot of students need to hear to develop your own identity, that's for sure, and not to place your worth on what people think of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had that issue. My first radio interview was a few years ago, and oh my gosh, it was the day that COVID hit, the lockdowns were official, that I
Oh
was
wow, March
scheduled.
13th. Was it March 13th?
Yeah, and the thing is that, and I don't really know if I should talk about it, but I guess I can because he never really had a problem with it. But his name is Joe Hawley, and he's the lead singer of Tally Hall. And we were scheduled to do it the same way that I'm talking to you, as through the Zoom and everything. But we did a pre-interview, and it went well. And I didn't. I have a bit of the recording of the pre-interview, and I don't want to release it because he asked not to. Everything was off the record, but
Mhm.
when the day did come, he hung up the phone halfway through. 5 minutes in, he hung up the phone. I never got a hold of him until a week later, and that was the first radio interview I had. But I looked up to him so much, and he was like my everything. And when
Mhm.
that happened, I felt like crap. I felt
Wait,
like I
why
had
did he
done
hang up?
something. But in the
Why did he
end,
hang up?
he hung up because he was going through a lot of stuff mental health wise, but he never gave me an answer, so I blamed myself. But when I stood back and realized that there was something going on with him, and that he needed help, and I stopped thinking about myself. And to this day, we are good friends, and the rejection that I felt of him hanging up the phone and not being able to do this interview with me, a lot of the DJs around me at the time, they're like, never meet your heroes. Like, this happens a lot. Like, people meet their favorite celebrities, but that hurt. Over time, I stopped placing my worth in what people I look up to in the music industry will think of me and start wondering what I think of me. And when I did, he came back around, and then we reconnected and we became friends again. But I don't know if I want to do another interview with him because he's got a lot of controversy online and he got canceled. I think the cancellation, I know him, so I know none of that stuff is true. But I
Get the word canceled. Like, I don't know what that means.
I
You can no one's canceling anybody. It's not like you get deleted from the world.
Yeah, I think what
Odd,
people
odd term.
boycott your stuff, once you find out somebody's
Doing that, people have been doing that since forever. I mean, if there's
right.
controversy, Beatles records got smashed when John Lennon compared them to Jesus and all that stupid stuff. But
Oh
um,
yeah. Yeah, you're not going to stop people from liking things. You're not going to be able to. So, but that during COVID was this huge thing because everybody was slamming everyone. And, I got to defend him because he's such a sweetheart. He's such a hippie. He's a nice guy and he's just really misunderstood. I really care about him deeply now. And it just made me want to
what
ask
band did what band did you say it was?
Tally Hall.
Tally Hall?
Yeah, Tally Hall. They have a lot of trending music on TikTok, and the bidding and hidden in the sand, and there's like all of TikTok is just their music, and it made me also realize that people will go viral, but they don't always necessarily want that. He wants to be
Hmm.
left alone. People should leave him alone and leave him to live his life, and he's doing better, and I'm proud of him. But that was the first real moment when I hero worshipped him so much, and all of my shows had all of his music in it, and it
Hmm.
took the wind out of my sails so hard. I didn't even want to go live for the next few months. I got over it because I realized my worth isn't defined on what people think of me.
Hmm. Well, you should be careful not to hero worship another human too much anyway, right?
No, yeah, that is true. But I am glad that I get to have an interview with you because I think that you're cool. Everybody here thinks we're cool. So I guess I'm guilty of it again because we just love you so much.
Sweet thing to say.
Well,
That's a very nice thing to say. Uh, I mean, I'm sure that I would love all the people in your space over there.
well,
You
a lot of people did like to hear you talk. They were saying some pretty positive things about it.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh no, what do I want to do with that? Now I gotta keep talking.
well,
Now I gotta talk.
you're very wisdomous, and I'm glad that because I saw you did another interview with someone recently,
Yeah.
and a lot of the information it seemed very what I like to say is toy car ish, because it's like a dollhouse where everything is in a certain area, a certain way, and it all looks nice because that's what you're presenting to people. And I want to know if you had a good time during that interview, or is this an interview where you feel like you can really be more real? Would you
Are you talking
say?
about the one I just did a couple weeks ago with Kevin Rankin?
Yeah, I didn't
All
listen to it.
Access? Huh?
I didn't listen to it all the way, but I just wanted to
I didn't
know.
listen to it.
Well, I didn't listen to all of it, but I
Dare
did.
you?
I'm
It's an hour. It's
sorry.
only an hour and a half.
I'm sorry.
Long
I
time.
guess it's distracted so fast.
You
Uh,
know, I had a great time actually. Kevin's an awesome guy. I got to play live with a couple of members of my band and a student who sang backup in that interview.
oh,
So that was a blast. Because we played some songs we've never even played live before.
really?
And yeah, it was
Oh
from
man, I
this.
missed out. I
Yeah,
really
you gotta
missed out.
finish listening. Uh, and I'm not really someone who's going to alter my personality anymore or maybe ever. Maybe I think when I was in my early 20s, I was sort of playing the grunge character a little bit.
Mm,
Uh, but at this point, I'm just talking to another human being. That's it. I'm not putting on airs. I'm not trying to be one thing or the other. I think that's again, I might have mentioned that. I think as you get older, you do finally become who you're supposed to be,
yeah.
and just are at peace with things. And uh, I'm not selling anything. I'm not, trying to be on a pedestal. I'm not sanctimonious. Hopefully, so I had a great time because I got to hang out with my couple band members and friends, and Kevin's great. He's a great guy and great drummer. Do you know Flock of Seagulls?
Yes, Flock of Seals.
He plays with them, and
Really? Oh, that's
He's
cool.
in that band now, and he gets to go all over the world with this band. It was cool. Cool to find out a little bit about him too. Because as you know, I like to ask some questions.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm talking your ear off.
Oh, it's great.
Am I not oversharing?
I'm thinking that the audience is going to appreciate this.
A lot of people make assumptions about the person I am because I've gave them seldom information about what I'm actually like online. I was so scared of people like finding out me, and like I just don't know really what I was afraid of, but I didn't want to end up like those other people online who they share too much and some stalker end up coming around or something like that. But once I
Probably
started,
just need to take everything a little less seriously. I think you can take what you do seriously, but I think it's important to not take yourself too seriously. That's a fine balance, isn't it?
yes, it is. That is a fine
Don't take
balance.
yourself so seriously.
Yeah.
Take you seriously, which you are doing, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
who
guess
we
so.
are, who cares? As long
People.
as you're not hurting anybody,
That's true. I
as
don't.
long as you're threatening anybody.
No, I'm not threatening anybody. I'm not a violent person at all. In
No,
fact, I feel like
seem
I'm
like it.
I'm very squishable, like a marshmallow. People.
You're squishable. Yeah, you're squishable,
Well,
right?
I try to be nice. I try to,
Soft, soft in the middle,
well,
right?
I want to be positive. A lot of my shows are just good vibes. It's always vibes. I use the word vibes a lot because like they are vibes. They're vibrations, music vibrations. And if you're gonna send them out, at least let them be positive, right?
And you can't be positive all the time. That's not possible. But for the most part, that's a very, very good way to be. And look at you,
Yeah, look at
making people
me.
feel good. Making people feel good. I imagine the people who are surrounding you in the adjacent rooms are fans of you and
I like to think
probably
so.
like you a lot. Do you have a best friend, Nessie?
Friends come and go. I've had them cycle out. I've had a few
Right?
best friends over the years. I
No
think,
consistent character who's a constant thread in your world?
who is my best friend? I'm starting to become closer to my parents again, and I don't think I really have a best friend, but I do have really good friends.
You do.
Yeah, I think
Do you ever do you go out at night? Do you go to, bars and things like that? Do you go out and mix it up a little bit?
Well, when I do, it's usually with casual friends and we have a good time. We go to the Libertine downtown Slow. That's nice. They have live music and stuff. We just
The
play
Libertine?
pool. Yeah, the Libertine's nice.
Mhm.
And we just play pool there, but we never like go get hammered or stuff like that. It's just casual, nice drinking. I'm not
You don't get
really
hammered?
No, I never get hammered. I'm not really much of a party person. I tried to go to parties and
No.
people invite me to them, but yeah, I
Are
just
you shy at a party? Are you introverted?
a little. Sometimes depends on if I know people there.
But
And
not debilitatingly introverted.
no, I do know how to start conversation. I know how to be polite, and so I would say I'm very I'm go with the flow. Very go with the flow. If you want to go someplace, then I'll go if you invite me. That kind of thing.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
I think that I like to go places for a good time, but I always like coming home at a certain time because I have a 9 to 5. This is a 9 to 5. Yeah, I have to be here at 9 o'clock every day all week, and so if I am gonna be out late, which I like to do, I like to go out late. Um, and have fun. And if there's a cool event, because we have the farmers market every Thursday all year round here downtown Slow, and it's this big event. They have like live performers around every street. They take up the
All
entirety
year?
of downtown all year round every Thursday.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they have like live performers. It's basically a festival every Thursday downtown. The entire strip of downtown, this entire street that is probably about like 12 blocks long is all taken up and blocked off. So that way the farmers, like, people can sell stuff, local businesses, they have stands, they have vendors, and then people can play music and stuff like that. It is a huge event, and we're known for our farmers market here in Slow. And
Hmm.
so there's my PSA for the hour, so I don't have to announce one later. The farmers market is available downtown Slow, 4 p.m. And I think it's at 6 p.m., but they start set up at 4 p.m. And so I like to go there and
Wait, it's an evening farmers market?
yeah, yeah. You,
Farmers markets are usually like morning things.
yeah, no, but it's because it's a huge event, and there's all these people again, like all these stands. People usually want to come after work, you know, and it's such a nice, tight knit community. There's really rarely ever crime here. We have the Madonna Inn nearby, and the Madonna Inn is actually very beautiful. And this is a very upper scale area, so when things happen like this, it really is because people can afford to go there. And people are really, I don't really know how to say it, but people are kind of privileged here, very rich environment, and so having these, we can afford to go there, and it's very family oriented, so having these every week, it makes more sense that there'd be something to do, especially since it's a college town. There's 2 colleges here. So, yeah, the farmers market is this big, it's a huge event. I really love it.
I hope someday I get to go to San Luis Obispo. I've heard it's beautiful.
You should. It's very
Never been in my
beautiful.
life. Hmm.
You have to come.
And I
Visit.
love a farmer's market. I love a farmer's market.
Yeah. The farmers
Give me a
market is
farmer's
huge.
market any day, huh?
You should. This farmers market is huge. You're gonna really love the Madonna Inn if you do end up staying here. The Madonna Inn has every single room is different. It has a different theme to it, and they're all
Mhm.
like hand designed, carved. These people these 2 people. They didn't really know much about architecture when they built it, but they did it anyways. And what they did build was so unique. And also, the first motel is here. This is just a very weird place because everything is here. Also, next to a dormant volcano, Morro Bay has a dormant volcano in the bay. It's this giant rock, huge.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we also have the 3 Stacks, which is a power plant with just this huge, tall cylinders that are probably about taller than a skyscraper, and they shut it down.
The skyscraper.
Yeah, it's crazy. Morro
That's no,
Bay
that's
is known for that, and so Morro Bay is really sweet. I love Morro Bay.
Mhm.
That's a little bit about our environment. So, what's Portland like, though? What do you do in Portland? What's
Well,
great about it?
I'm a family man now, so I don't do a ton. If I go out, it's because I'm playing a show. But Portland's pretty great. Portland's got a lot of it's got gooey soul to it.
Yeah.
It's a chewy place. It's great music. We're definitely foodies here. I'm not a foodie.
Mm?
If I could take a pill and just get all my balance of nutrients and calories, that would be great for me. Okay, just give me a pill, and I don't have to worry about eating anything else. Most people think that's weird.
No, it's not weird at all. No, I get it.
I don't like eggs.
No,
Okay,
don't like
I'll tell you that.
eggs.
I think they're weird.
You think eggs are weird?
Don't you think eggs are kind of weird?
I do. The texture is kind of interesting. So if it's cold eggs are disgusting.
I don't get eggs. Okay, but Portland is. But I'm in the burbs.
Mm.
I have great neighbors. I will go to the gym. I will play racquetball.
Mm.
Damn right I will.
Really?
I'll take yeah.
Awesome,
Damn right
awesome racquetball. That's
I like
cool.
I like a steam room.
Steam room. Oh, everybody likes
I
those.
won't I won't belong to a gym if there's no steam room.
Hmm.
Okay? Gotta have a
Absolutely.
steam room. That's
Gotta
my
have it.
reward.
Gotta have a steam
But I'm
room.
not talking about a sauna. Okay? I'm not talking about the wood dry heat. I'm talking about a steam room that's tiled and is like shh.
Yes, yes. Those are the best. Those are the greatest.
My vocal teacher back in the day said, get yourself into a steam room because when your lungs are moist, for
Mm.
lack of a better word. I know that's a controversial word. People don't like the word
I
moist.
don't know what it is about moist. I think it's because of how people feel when they're moist.
I think it's a sexual thing. I think people get weirded out by that word, sexual. Okay?
Oh my gosh. People need to get their minds out of the gutter.
Well, that's why we're here.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mm.
we got here somehow. Give me it makes the lungs moist and elastic, and they expand more. You get more air. Okay,
That's
give me a
important.
steam room
That's important
any
being a
day,
musician, you know.
right?
Yeah.
So here we are in the burbs in Portland. We mow our lawns. We rake our leaves like I did today. We go play racquetball. We get our lungs moist in the steam room. All right. Damn right we do.
Oh,
And
okay.
how
Get
we,
your lungs moist. That's what you do in
that's
Portland.
how we that's how we roll. Okay.
That's how Portland
Moist
rolls.
lungs. In fact, I'm going to call my next novel, my memoir, Moist Lungs.
You're going to call it moist lungs.
That's right.
Well,
First, okay.
I'll have to put this in the description of this interview. Moist
Moist
lungs.
lungs. Huh?
Andrew talks moist lungs, Portland, and the
Yep.
Madonna Inn. And
His aversion to eggs.
wait, so I just in the day in the life of you
Huh?
and your hobbies and things like that, and what goes through your head, like what is a typical day for you, you know? What's
Well, I
in anything, any like for a day for performing music, or like do you do live shows often? Like what would you say defines you in a day?
well, what defines me in a day now is very specific to now. Because as I talked about, I have these two little boys,
Right.
right? Luca
Yes.
and Lennox. Luca's 2, Lennox will be 4 on Wednesday.
Oh, that's cute. Wait, what does the name Lennox mean? That's such a cool name.
I don't know. We just heard it and we liked it. There's no fancy story.
My godfather's last name is Maddox. He
Is
passed
what
away.
now?
My godfather, he passed away. His last name was Maddox.
Maddox.
Yeah. Kind of
Okay.
sounds like
Well,
Lennox. And do you spell that
yes.
with an X? Do you spell it with an X?
Lennox.
That's such a cool name. That's such a cool
Yeah,
name.
he's great. He's a great little boy. And so my life now is devoted to these boys.
Oh, and a
That's
kitty.
that's my cat, Pure.
That's her name's
Pure's
Pure.
17. Pure is 17 years old.
Aw.
He had a brother named Simple, so I had cats named Pure and Simple.
Aw.
Passed a couple years ago. But
Aw.
so I'm taking care of these boys a lot of the time. I'm either teaching in my garage, I'm recording music, I'm working on a song right now for a TV show that
Nice. Hell
passionate.
yeah.
I'm going to be writing some children's music, uh, which is hard to wrap my head around because I don't like children's music. Most of it sucks. It's grating. It's produced poorly. But I want to write music for my kids that at least I can stomach, and who knows if I'll be able to. And music that can entertain my boys. I have a party on Wednesday for and on Saturday for my 4-year-old, and I'm gonna finish these couple songs so I can sing them to these 10 4-year-olds and their parents in my garage. That's what I'm working on right now.
That's the
Right?
day. That's the day. That's your day.
Yeah, I got friends coming over to work on some music soon. I'm gonna do this song for this show. I got a private show at the end of the month. I got
Awesome.
shows in December that I'll be doing. I'll be
That's
doing some.
rad. Good for you,
I
man.
guest sing for a group called the Low Bar Chorale here in Portland.
Okay.
This year I sang the part of Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar for this group. Are you familiar with Jesus Christ Superstar?
Heard of it? Yeah, that's cool.
Heard of it?
Yes, I think names they come and go in my brain. I've
It's one of
definitely
the best pieces of music. It's a rock opera from the 70s, I think from 1970.
cool.
And it's very intense. So I sang the Jesus part. I've done that a few times.
Wow.
We do it. We'll do an Elton John night, and I'll sing some songs. So luckily, I have a pretty balanced life. I've got this little bag of fur right here.
A ball of joy.
Yeah, and but I don't. I'm not going out and partying. I got to go to Lake Tahoe last weekend with my 5 best friends. That was a blast.
Yeah, that
Okay,
sounds like a lot of fun.
acted like we were in college for a few days, and that was cool. And I'll tell you right now, Nessie, I'm a lucky person. I'm a lucky man. I get to teach many, many kids, including adults, adult kids. And I taught this morning in my garage. I laugh a lot. Um,
Good.
I play golf with my 4-year-old. I bounce my 2-year-old on my knee. We watch Paw Patrol and we watch Cars
Okay, nice.
way too often. And I like to shave my legs every morning, whether I need it or not.
Why?
I'm
What's
just
the
I'm
oh,
just kidding. I don't
do
do
you
that.
you don't? I was gonna ask what the purpose of shaving your legs would be for,
Well,
because
because it makes me faster in the water if I swim. I I don't swim, so I don't feel the need. So no, I'm not shaving anything except for clearly not shaving my face.
What?
Um,
Well, the beard is nice. It suits you.
I appreciate that. Like I said, it dulls the chin. Okay, when you have sharp features like that, you have to dull it out. You don't
Yeah.
have to.
So
I feel compelled.
sharp features are, I guess, the beauty standard for today. People are really after that type of face, striking
Oh, is that
features.
right? Oh,
Yeah, they're seeking out models that have sharp features.
wow.
Yeah, I
You know,
know.
I was told I had a great face for hand modeling, and I wasn't sure how to take that.
Great face for hand modeling, or great hands
Yeah.
for hand modeling. Great face or
No,
hand.
great face for hand modeling, which
Hmm.
really means you don't have a great face.
Well, you know what? Take the compliment. That's a good compliment.
I
You have to
appreciate
have
it.
a
Yeah.
wonderful face, Andrew.
No, for hand modeling.
For hand modeling, yes, I can see it. Definitely see. Because there's just so much about a face that makes me think about
When you see
hands.
this face, you're like, I'd rather see his hands.
Oh wait. Oh, I get the joke now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't say that.
Hey, talk to the hand.
Oh,
Okay.
do you have good hands for hand modeling?
No, I pick my hands. I pick my
Mm,
hands till they bleed.
I do that. I do that.
Do you do that?
Yeah, I chew on my hands all the time.
Yeah, I pick them.
I do the same thing.
I gotta stop doing that.
Yeah.
Gotta stop doing it.
Well,
And then you put it in your hot water and it really hurts.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you
Or
ever
you feel a lemon, it stings.
right, you're cooking and stuff like that, and then the my decisions of the day are very obvious, and I
Oh yeah.
pay for it when I'm cooking because I use a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
lemons.
Mhm.
And my mom is Arabic and Lebanese and
Really?
Greek. Yeah, and so she cooks a lot with lemons. You'd be surprised on how many recipes in Greek culture require lemons.
Well, I was married to a Turkish girl, my first wife.
Hmm,
It says Borce. That's her name. Borce.
that was her name.
Turkish. I'm familiar with the cuisine of that
Hmm,
region. Now,
yeah.
the funny story about this is I put a record out in 2008 when I was signed to that label in Germany, and they misspelled her name in the credits of the album. So the album was dedicated to the love of my life, Bruce, and that confused my audience a little bit, I think.
Oh, so wait, how many tattoos do you have? Like, what do
I
they
had to stop
mean?
stage diving after that. Huh?
How many tattoos do you have? What do they mean? Like, do they
I have
mean?
9. I have about 9. I have the Indian test pattern right here.
Oh,
You probably don't even know what that is. See, back when I was a kid, we had about 7 or 8 stations on a TV,
yeah.
and so and then programming would stop at like midnight,
Really?
and what screen you would have this Indian test pattern, which I think helped them focus the picture, and so you would
Oh.
pass out. You'd be watching something. You'd end up passing out. You'd wake up to the sound of the Star Spangled Banner played by a band.
Oh.
This on the TV because there was
Oh,
no program.
I think I know which one you're talking about. That's
The
interesting.
Indian test pattern.
So what made you decide on getting it as a tattoo?
I just thought it was cool.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty cool. I was actually gonna
Motown. You know
was
what Motown is, Nessie?
no.
Motown? Motown was a record label in the 60s that brought black music uh, to the pop culture.
What? Yeah, I've heard about
Okay?
that one. Yeah.
Marvin Gaye, the Supremes, Smokey Robinson, the Jackson 5 early on. Then they switched to Epic. That's my music. I like soul. I like that, really intense vocally driven gut
Yeah.
of music. That's my jam.
Nice.
I have a really ridiculous I have raw tattoo that is like everybody, no one should get this anymore. It's overdone.
Mm.
I have a lyric that says made in the 60s, born in the 70s right here.
Mm. Oh.
I was born in 1970, but of course I was made in 1969.
Oh. Well,
Got a
oh
record,
yeah. Oh, that's cool.
got a record player right here.
That's
I
nice.
have Buddha smiling right here.
Oh, wonderful. I like the
I got
record
some
player.
I got some stuff.
That's cool.
You have
I
you have any stuff?
No, I don't have any tattoos, but my sister has a tattoo of a potion bottle on her
Ooh,
arm. Yeah, I know. It's really cool looking. It's very mystical. My sister's the one with
nice.
the tattoos. My
Are
little,
you you're not going to get any tattoos? Do you think I was
well,
26 when I got my first tattoo, actually.
I haven't decided if I am gonna get something. I want it to be meaningful, so I'll probably get a radio symbol or like an antenna.
Mm.
Or I did want to get because I'm actually I have a heart condition and epilepsy, and I'm also borderline diabetic, so I wanted to get that on
You
my.
have epilepsy?
Yeah, I know it's hereditary, and I haven't really explored it very much, but I do have mini seizures, so.
You got to be real careful. My 17-year-old niece died of SIDS. It wasn't SIDS, it was, shoot, I wish I could remember the acronym for it.
Oh.
It's the worst thing that's ever happened to this family. She was 17. This was about two and a
Oh
half years ago.
no!
She
Oh, I'm
died
so
of a
sorry.
seizure in her sleep. So, brutal. So yeah, I know a little bit about that.
That's
It's hard to
awful.
not, it's hard to talk about it, quite frankly. But yeah, so that pokes me in the heart right there to hear that.
I'm sorry to hear that. That
Um,
must be really
yeah,
tough for you.
make sure you're taking care of yourself in that way.
Oh, I watch over my health. I know a lot of people rely on me being here, so I
Hmm.
take care of myself. But I'm so sorry to hear about your niece. You were close with her?
Yes, I was. She lived in
Oh,
Colorado. I didn't get to see her as often as I would have liked, but she was just a kid. She was beautiful, beautiful, cool girl. Yeah,
I'm
brutal.
so sorry to hear
Uh,
that you
yeah,
went through that, Andrew.
yeah.
That's awful. I know she probably loved you and she's watching over you.
She was cool. She was great. Uh, so anyway, we all got
Yeah.
stuff. We all got stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, everybody's got their own setbacks, but setbacks can also be your catapult to new heights. I never let something hold me back.
You.
I use
That
it
was
to
age wisdom.
slingshot me to the next, because I've been through so much in my life. My life story is pretty shocking. Actually,
Is it?
yeah, I the therapy that I have is called EMDR, and
That's the eye thing, isn't it?
yeah, well, actually, what EMDR is, you wear headphones and you hold these two buzzers and it alternates. So beep here and beep here and then beep here, and also alternate buzzing. It vibrates in your hand like this one, then this one, then this one. It's supposed to trick your brain into going into REM sleep.
Oh, so is it eye based or is it audio based?
It's audio based. Sometimes it's eye based.
Audio.
Sometimes, the one that works for me. I see David Lichty downtown. This is really this man changed my life because he's so kind and he's
Really?
helped me
He's
through
cool?
so much. Yes, I love my therapist. He's helped me and there's so many things. So he's such a good guy. Giving him a shout out is nice because I know that he needs new patients. So, but he this is basically what you do is you trick your brain into going to REM sleep so that way you can go through these memories and negative cognitions and like reach in with this very soft, very nice, fluffy glove and take the memory out and look at it for what it is and what actually happened from the perspective of you now as an unbiased party, and then put it back just gently and then take a step back and breathe. And no other therapy works for me because it's so severe, but it works for me that way because I'm able to get past all the pain and look at it for what it is. It's like bliss. It's like quiet for the first time after hearing just nothing but lots of loud sounds.
Have you heard the song Quiet from Matilda?
Matilda the movie?
Matilda was a musical. It still is, right?
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful song. I bet you would relate to it.
Matilda is the one with the little girl who has. Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that movie growing up. I love Matilda because
Listen to
my
that
family
song
is kind of like her
Quiet.
family.
Will you listen to that song Quiet?
I will. I will. I will
Okay.
listen to that.
Tim Minchin wrote the music for that.
He did?
Tim Minchin is this, I think he's either from New Zealand or Australia. He's a genius. This guy is so smart, so interesting. He wrote the music for this musical.
Mhm.
At least I think he wrote the majority of it. Man, it's just so cool. That song, I think you're gonna really love it and relate to it
Wow.
because it's all this spinning, 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 and then what you're talking about.
Yeah,
It
it's like
becomes-
there's just so much going on in my head at the same time, and I see it again as a strength because so many amazing pieces, so many amazing music, Like Albert Einstein, he was crazy. You have to be crazy if you want to change the world. So I don't ever
Sure.
see these mental health
So
issues as
is
being
that your goal?
crazy.
Are you want to change the world?
Absolutely.
Okay, how?
Yeah.
What do you want to change about it?
I want people to, well, if I am going to say something to the world, I'm going to say that everything's going to be okay. I would know because things weren't okay for a little while, but I stuck around and I watched it become okay. I
Hmm.
watched I watched things unfold in my life, and all I had to do was just let it happen and then think that every single thing that I do that's kind to somebody, that will start a chain reaction to the next person. Rachel Scott from the first woman who was shot in the Columbine shooting, but she was a
Oh,
teenager sitting out in front, and before she died, she wrote an essay. It was about chain reactions, how one act of kindness will help somebody out there, and they will have a better day because of your act of kindness, and go out there and do an act of kindness for someone else and all of their family members. And then their family members will have a good day and will spread the act of kindness, like paying it forward, and before you know it, you have started chain reaction of kindness. And so,
mhm.
if people are in a situation where things aren't okay, start with your foot forward of kindness because you don't know who will really benefit from that. And that's what you'll receive back. These people will, you need to use compassion. And whenever I talk to anyone, or if I've ever had a bad interaction with anyone, I set that aside. I do because I would want that myself. A new day starts, and if people think that they're not forgiven, they are. I give people so many chances because sometimes they need that. It's not about you. Sometimes there's something going on inside, and just that one tiny act of kindness will really, really help them. So that's how I want to change the world. If I were to say something to the world, I'd say start a chain reaction of kindness.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know
I
if
like that.
I don't know if I was babbling
Yeah,
too much, but
it's good to be nice.
yeah, I just want people to feel like see the special. If I see something special in somebody, I want them to see that special thing. They'll go their entire life not knowing it's there unless you say something.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's
There you go.
that's one of the
There you
reasons
go.
why I wanted to interview you because it's just I don't know why you don't promote yourself more. Like you don't really post a lot about like your music. You post about your family life. And that's great. We want to see your family, but I think that you could really go viral again if you start promoting your music.
Yeah, you know what? We musicians, most of us aren't good at that.
That's why you have me.
Especially musicians from my era who aren't used to that, the computer and that world and understanding how it works, understanding how it is important. Uh, it's really not, doesn't make me feel good to promote myself. It's icky for me. Uh, Probably is the reason why I'm being interviewed, but I'm asking you a lot of questions in the same way, right? I'm not a
Yeah.
huge fan of talking about myself. I love to create music and do all that stuff, but it's a weird two-faced, two-sided coin for me.
Well,
Look at me, but now don't look at me.
I think when people, because a lot of people have been asking me since the it has aired. I had to upload it a couple times because Amnesia that played at the end it got copy striked for some reason. But I did upload it again, and people were asking me if I could go into depth a little bit more about your music because they really loved Amnesia.
That's
But
sweet.
I did also do that little sample of Mercy on my Instagram page. People liked that. So at the end of this interview, whenever you want to end it, because I actually purchased Zoom Premium, so that way we could have unlimited amount of time talking.
Yeah.
Uh, but
I'm
at
gonna
the
probably run out of steam here pretty soon.
Okay, whenever you'd like to end the interview, you can. But at the end, I'm gonna play Mercy for you because
Oh,
people really liked it. They were asking me about it.
that's a real special song to me, actually. Yeah.
I chose the one that I felt like had because I looked up the lyrics for these songs and there was one I wanted to play. I wanted to play Run, and there was
Run is from a couple albums ago, right?
yeah, and then there were some other songs. But Mercy sounds so it's classically you. I love the
It's
music
what
you
now?
do. It's classically you, I would say. As
Well, that's sweet.
I saw
Well,
Andrew come out and not just say you trying to be somebody, and you've never been like that. You've never tried to be anyone, but I saw Andrew in that song.
and I referenced my niece, and there's a little bit of her in there.
Is
Uh,
that true? So I
yeah.
guess I chose the right one. I have it up here. It's right here, Alma Mater. Now, I just if I do have a couple more questions I wanted to ask, but if you are running out of juice, I'm gonna use it
Well,
on.
let's do one more question, and then I'll go
Okay.
pick my kids up from daycare.
Oh, you're picking up from daycare. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, you're a
I know.
dad. That's a full-time job as being a dad.
It's also the best thing.
Having
Like
you on the show,
I can't wait to pick up my kids.
that I
I don't
I
want
know.
them at daycare.
Yeah, I know.
I
I
want
know
them
you love
here.
your kids. I won't keep you
Yeah.
very much longer.
Yeah.
But I really love having you on the show. You should come again sometime in the future. But if this,
That's very.
you are more
Thank you
than
so much.
welcome to come back on the show. I do follow-ups with musicians all the time. Once you do
Hey,
all
you
those
let me know.
live shows, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say if you could name any, and also I wanted to ask about the song, This Could Make Me Religious, but we can do that
Oh,
another time. I wanted to know if you could name anybody that is your all-time inspiration, like the one thing that besides your kids, besides all the stuff, if you were to say the musician that started it all, which musician would that be?
uh, you know what? Just going back to when I was really young, because that did start it all. It was probably the Bee Gees.
The Bee Gees, really? I wouldn't have expected that.
Do you know the Bee Gees music?
Yes, I do.
First, that's the only fan club I've ever been a member
That's
of.
crazy.
I was
Really?
10. Yep. And I used to get very, very depressed because I realized as a 10-year-old that the Bee Gees didn't know who I was. And that realization of my anonymity within their world made me very sad. But I used to sing Bee Gees on my fireplace, area, and with my buddy Lance, and I would stare at those vinyl records, and then it was Michael Jackson.
Really? Oh, yeah, you're a moonwalker. Moonwalker,
Yep,
yeah, it's cool. I wouldn't
yep,
have
and that
expected the
and
Bee
again, it was
Gees.
because of his voice. His voice, I just related to it. Uh, it
You
it
got
was
the snap.
already there for me, huh?
Those two artists, they have a snap. They're their energy has a spunk to them, and it is like an
Energy. Yep,
explosion in your
yep,
brain
yep.
when all they have to do is sing
Yeah.
one line, like Billie Jean. Like they're the way that
Uh,
they word the songs, the lyrics, they flow so
yep.
great, and I think that it does reflect in your music because you do the one-liners so well. You deliver the
Sweet.
line, and that
Huh?
is the hit. It's the hit,
Yeah.
and
Well, and you're right. There is a certain energy to both of those that is a little bit similar. I mean, they're both. I mean, disco,
yeah,
especially off the wall, and of course the Bee Gees sort of defined the disco era with
that is
Saturday Night
true.
Fever. Uh, so maybe I'm just a disco kid. Just want to dance.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, dance. Did that song "Put Your Body Right," and then there's a couple of other ones.
put your
I
body right here next to
Oh,
me.
he's singing for us. Okay. Every single question you hit, and I also was gonna ask if you could sing just a little bit. Now, Mercy, what's your favorite lyric from that song?
Oh, probably I know what I know and I don't know the other stuff.
Well, the
True,
Bee
right?
Gees, they were on the radio in the same way that you are today. So it kind of comes full circle, don't you think?
Who were on
Years ago, you were a 10-year-old wishing you were on the radio, and now you're on the radio. Now, how do you feel?
Oh, I feel so exhilarated, and I'm hoping Barry Gibb is the only surviving BG, is listening to this all the way from where he is in Australia. If he's tuned into Questa Radio and KGUR at Questa College,
Well,
who knows?
you never know. You never know. But it's just been such a
You know what?
joy.
Maybe Barry Gibb and I will play racquetball together someday because of this interview.
Oh, well, you know what? I'll hit him up. I'll make sure to add him when I do the. Yeah, hell
Is
yeah. Hey,
tell him
Barry,
to
if
bring
you're
it.
listening to this, Andrew wants to do racquetball with you.
Tell him to bring it, okay?
Bring it, bring it. Andrew wants to play racquetball, and
Wimpy
you
stuff.
never know because he could. And you know what?
None of this
Thank you
wimpy
so
stuff.
much.
Thank you, Nessie.
Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you,
us on The Man Behind the Music.
all your friends there at Questa College and
The professors, because we got probably about like maybe 14,000 students that go to Cuesta this semester, and they're all saying hello to you right now, and they're hearing your closing thoughts. And what are they, Andrew?
I'm gonna high five
High five!
everyone.
High
Okay?
five, everybody! High five! High five!
I think the high five needs to come back. It's a good way to connect. You don't have to hold hands. You don't have to, get your germs too much on people. You don't have to, if you have clammy hands like I do sometimes, you don't have to do the handshake. The knuckles fine, but I think let's bring high fives back a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my parting message.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us again, Andrew. It was a joy. We look forward to seeing you again, and we look forward to seeing what Andrew
Much
Paul
love to you, Nessie.
Woodworth does
Thank you
next.
for sharing. Thank you for sharing today. I think
welcome.
that's really, really cool of you.
All right. Well, I hope I didn't overshare. No?
No, you did not.
Okay. Okay.
You undershared. We want to know more.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, to the next one, we are going to be playing a sample of your song. Again, thank you, everybody. And I'll see you later, Andrew. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you very much. See ya.
Bye. All right, everybody. So that was Andrew Paul Woodworth, and this is the man behind the music. That was the man behind the music, the man, the myth, the legend. I hope that you enjoyed. We are going to now play his song Mercy from his band Alma Mater. 'Twas a Joy. And then DJ Lokknessie on KGUR radio station is signing out for the day. Thank you again a million times over. Mwah.
We all deserve it. We never learn it. I can show you mercy one day at a time. You don't believe me, then you will never see me. If you died, I'd love you back to life. It's like arguing the color of the sky. Summer vacation, live stream the graduation. Everyone could use a softer touch. Where is the laughter? Wish that I had the answer. Always hope that I'd be smart enough. Well, I know that I know, and I don't know the other stuff. Thank